Hello and welcome to Business Line Podcast. I am Ronendra Singh and today we are going to talk about luxury cars market in India. The luxury car market in India has seen one of the best years in 2022 in the recent past by selling around 37,000 units, and this calendar year it is expected to hit around 45,000 to even 47,000 units, the best ever in the history, even beating the last peak of 41,000 units in 2018. The buying power of individuals, especially in the age group of 35 to 40, has grown exponentially in the last 2 years. And even though most of the luxury cars are touching around rupees 50 lakh as starting prices, these buyers are not shying away from spending. Some even go beyond that and purchase cars which are more than rupees 1 crore. For instance, Mercedes-Benz India, which is the largest luxury car seller in India, is selling more cars which are priced around rupees 1 crore and more in its AMG series. The youths who are environment conscious are also going for luxury electric cars, which are mostly in those price bracket. To get more ideas and trend in the luxury car market, we have today Santosh Iyer, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Mercedes-Benz India, who will touch upon every aspect, whether it is sedan versus SUVs or petrol versus diesel or EV or even taxation issues on the luxury cars in this podcast.
Welcome Santosh to BL Podcast. Uh, and to start with, I would like to ask you, since the festive season has already kicked in from Onam in Kerala, how is the luxury car market performing in the current scenario, and especially with the festive season now already ringing in?
Okay, so I think the good part of this year's festive season is it's spread over 4 months, starting with Onam in Kerala in August, and then Ganesh Chaturthi in September, Dashera in October, and then of course Diwali in November. This gives us a lot of flexibility for production because it is also not a peaking up and it is more spread out. When it comes to demand, we already started seeing demand for deliveries in July, August, where the customers were booking the car with and wanting a commitment to deliver it during the festive period. So, if I look at that, and if we are able to now deliver these cars, we should have a very good festive growth compared to even last year. If you remember, last year was the best ever year, even the best ever festive sales, and this year should set new records with with the double digit growth over last year. So let's see. Maybe we'll also release our quarterly numbers in the first week of October. But overall, it looks quite positive.
Any numbers that you can share as compared to last year? How much is the
No,
industry expecting?
as I said, the festive period has just started. So, Kerala is just one state. So, I won't like to make a comment like that. But I would say overall growth will be in the tune of double digit compared to last year. And that should help us do again a best ever festive period as such.
And what about in the EV segment? I think because of the higher import duties, still low in demand, or is it as expected by the industry?
No, I think import duty has nothing to do with EVs because today the pricing of the cars are quite aggressively done. So if you look at our portfolio, the EQS is available, which we are locally producing at 1.6 crores, the EQB at 80 lakhs. Even the today's launch that we did, the EQE SUV, that is at 1.39 crores. So if I compare that to a combustion engine, let's take EQE, the comparable model is the GLE 400, which will be at 1.08 crores ex-showroom. On
Right.
road is 1.3 crores. And today you get an electric car with all the bells and whistles like hyperscreen, airmatic, all the many other features on the EV at just 1.39 crores. So I think the pricing is there. The market acceptance is slow. I would not say slow. I would say is happening at a pace because of the overall myths around EV. There are still barriers on EV purchase, like whether the car will last for 15 years, will I get a residual value, is the charging infrastructure in place? And I think our responsibility is to address those concerns. So today, when we introduce the new EQE SUV, we have already committed to 10-year battery warranty, 250,000 kilometers of battery. So
Right.
nobody now, at least customer will know now, here 15, 20 years this can run. And on the other side, also giving a residual value guarantee equal to combustion engine. So as OEMs, we need to mitigate some of these concerns. Uh, every customer whom I meet, they say my next car is an EV, which is
Mhm.
positive because the future they say will be EV. But when I ask them why not today, then the reasons are more myths than reality. And today, with
Okay.
cars having high range and very aggressively priced, I think it's a matter of time where the adoption starts increasing. Plus, to be fair, the options are also very limited in the overall market. If you look at the mass market today, hardly few players, 1.5% odd penetration in the overall mass market, and even in luxury, we are at 4 to 5% at Mercedes-Benz. So I think it will take some time, but the midterm outlook still remains positive. We still feel that 25% of our sales should come from EVs in the next 3 to 4 years time.
Okay. So what is the average age right now for the buyers and both for EVs and IC powered cars? And going forward, what kind of trend do you see?
I think more than professionals, the EV buyers are more trendsetters. They are very well aware about the battery, the technology. They want to flaunt the green number plate because they feel they want to show that they are sustainable at the same point of time, responsible, and also take pride in being one of the first people adopting EV. So it's
Right.
more of a mindset that the demographic or the sociographic, and that includes youngsters, that includes middle-aged people also, and old people also. So it's not the age which is driving, it is the mindset which is driving the EV consumption.
Mhm. What about the IC powered vehicles? What is the average age right now?
For us, depends model to model. On S class, it's around 38 years. For C class, it's around 35. Average age still is close to 38 years in our segment as such.
Okay, okay. And between the SUVs and sedans, what kind of choices are there now when it comes to demand? Is it still 50-50 or is it has it changed now?
So, yeah, it's a good question. We are seeing an increased trend towards SUV, no doubt, because also one of our bigger launches, which is the GLC, was in the SUV segment. So
Mhm.
definitely we see a bigger traction at this stage on the SUV side. Having said that, even the sedans now have better availability because we have increased the production, and there are also different options to buy sedans, etc. So, uh, but to answer your question, SUVs definitely seem to have a much higher demand considering the GLC launch as well.
What is the ratio look like now?
Almost 60-40.
60-40.
For us, industry, nobody shares body type data or product data. So I will not impression, but I can only speak about Mercedes-Benz.
Okay, okay. And what about on the diesel demand? I mean, there is still a demand for the diesel engines in the luxury cars industry. So do you think that will continue? And what is the
I
diesels to
think
say now?
diesels in the luxury car, I can say for Mercedes-Benz are one of the cleanest diesels available in the market. They meet Euro 6 and also many of them are also cleared the stage 2 norms. So today, I think diesels are very clean. They offer better technology. They also offer better fuel efficiency apart from better driving and torquiness. So even today, 10 to 15%, the diesel cars are more expensive by 10 to 15%. But still, customers buy diesel cars because of the benefits I mentioned. And also, a 3 to 4 year old diesel car fetches more than a gasoline car. So the residual values are also very high for diesel. So surely customers prefer diesel. Now with government's, I would say, push towards sustainable fuels, of
Mhm.
course, over a period of time, we may see the shift to electrification. But we are ready. We have clean diesels. We have gasoline which can work with ethanol fuel. We have electric, and we will adjust our production and supply based on market demand.
I was coming to ask you that question only because the government has recently announced on plans for biofuels or alternate fuels like in the more ethanol mix and also is luxury car players also going towards that or because most of them are launching in pure EV form. Globally, though, there are available on biofuels options. So, do you
No,
think
so
that?
today the
Mm,
biofuel mix today is only 11%, and today our cars are already E10 and E20 ready. So technically speaking, if the government is able to supply up to 20% of blending, also our cars will be easily able to manage that. So
okay,
we are ready, but of course availability of biofuel in petrol stations up to 20% is still a far way. So I think we have many years to reach 20% also. So, but the cars are currently ready even to accept a 20% mix.
right, right, right. And there have been some reports going around on government has been thinking about reducing the import duties for EVs, Santosh. So on the other hand, they are also promoting make in India products. So can you share some light on that? What the thinking and what kind of help would it come to the EV makers in India?
I would say the government has assured CM as well as all the members that whatever policy they bring will be uniform for all the players in the market and it will be fair. So we have to
Mhm.
wait for the government to announce the new policy, whether it will be import duty reduction or anything else, I'm not sure. But we can only comment once we see the policy. But what the government has assured, as I said, is a fair policy for current and new players both. So I think that's a right spirit.
Right, right. So do you think that will also impact, I mean, if Tesla also comes in the market, I mean, sooner or later they will be coming in India. Would that impact the luxury EV makers in India?
I think Tesla coming is a very welcome step. It will definitely help in further creating awareness about EVs and also accelerating the shift towards EVs.
Mhm.
But if I go by the media reports, which states they will participate in the mass market with the kind of pricing and products they have. So there I see a limited threat to the luxury segment and to Mercedes-Benz assets because if they intend to play as per media reports. So I'm not sure what would be their eventual strategy. But to be on the other side, we face Tesla worldwide. It's not a new competitor for us. And as I said, any new competitor is always welcome in the market.
Okay, okay. One question on the interest rate. Do you think that although because in passenger vehicles market, some of the companies are impacted because of that also because 80% of the cars are financed. So do you think that similar trend is there in luxury car market also because of the higher
No,
interest rates?
surely, higher interest rate, increased prices definitely, you can say, dampens the sentiment a bit. What we have tried to do is to compensate that with financial offers from our own NBFC, which is Mercedes-Benz Financial. So
Mhm.
right now we have very good EMI schemes where the cost of ownership is taken care of. The EMIs are taken care of the customer with very good interest rates offered by Mercedes-Benz Financial. And because of that, we are able to mitigate some of this anxiety. But any increase in price or interest rates definitely affects the demand.
Okay, okay. And lastly, Santosh, on you have recently said also in reports saying that the luxury car market is expected to touch 80,000 mark by 2030. So which is almost double from right now. So how confident is the industry right now? And do you think if if there is a better policies in place and if the government doesn't sudden change the policies and all, do you think that is doable in the
So
overall
let me
luxury car market?
clarify. What I had said is today the total PV market is growing at 8 to 10%, 8 to 10%. And I expect the luxury market to grow at around 10% and slightly higher than the total PV market. If these two things have to happen, and if you put a compounding effect to the current volumes, you will reach the 80,000 number. But it's a simple mathematical calculation and expectation based on the forecast given by PV industry, extrapolation to the luxury segment. Now, whether these will happen is based on, of course, economic policies. I think long term nobody can predict. But if you add up these numbers mathematically, it should reach to the 80,000 number.
Okay, okay, like that. But this year, this financial year, it is expected to grow more than 40,000. One of the best
Yeah, at
years.
least looking at the current trends, we feel the industry should be more than 40,000 this year.
Okay. All right, Santosh. Nice talking to
Thanks a
you,
lot. Nice
like
talking to
always.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye
Thanks.
bye.
Bye.